I'm locked in.
We're locked in, and we're back. The boys are back. I got my man Funk on the producer's mic. I got my boy Dylan with the funny haircut, sunglasses over here. He's got a better head of hair than me, I'll give him that, but his haircut's real goofy.
Little bright in here, so.
A little bright. Long night for the boy.
Didn't get much sleep. Gotta
action?
keep the sun out.
Any action last night?
No, we'll keep that off the record. But
Off the record?
Me in action. The only action I like is Larry's locks, baby. Let's talk about it.
I like that. That's a good one. We've been hot. College basketball's been hot.
Yeah, talk about it. I know yesterday you had a run. What'd you hit, 8 in a row?
Nah, I think I went 12 in a row. I lost an under. I'm 13-1 now. My last 14. Big Saturday today. Dude, college basketball is just so much more fun to bet on than the NBA right now. NBA is hard. I mean, you got to be so perfect. Like, I needed Jason Tatum 8 rebounds and 10. He had 5 in the first quarter. He finished with 7. I needed Booker 8 assists last night. 3 in the first quarter. Finished with 7. Like, college basketball, man, that shit comes down to the end every time. Real fun.
Why is it that the person who gets off hot in an NBA game typically is the one that falls short in your lay? Like,
Dude.
I don't know, especially with threes. You see a guy hit 2. Let's say you need him for 3. He hits 2 in the first half. He doesn't even get more than a couple shots up.
The NBA can literally drive you crazy because you're following it. You get exactly how you want it to start, and it gets cooked from the jump. It's just tough. But college has been hot, and college has been fun. And when college is done, I'm going to jump right into baseball, money lines, totals. But for right now, we got a big 2 or 3 weeks ahead of us between conference tourneys, the March Madness, and the end of the regular season. Who do you like to win it all?
Well, Auburn and Duke are minus money, right?
Not minus money, like plus 300. You're an idiot, bro.
Okay. Well, they were last week.
Minus money to win it all? Never.
They were last week?
They were never minus money to win it all. Ever.
Well, I rest my case. All right.
They're like plus 300 each of them.
I don't think you can have 2 teams minus money.
They would never be 2 teams minus money with 2 weeks left in the regular season to win it all. Kid's an idiot. I love him, though.
I took St. John's to win it all. Fun little straight bet.
St. John's or Marquette today?
Great game. Where is it?
Marquette. 3.5 spread.
Marquette. I just think about Rick Pitino's pregame speeches to these guys, and it is such like an old school.
That's what this guy plays before trying to pick up a chick. He plays a Rick Pitino fucking snippet.
He's like, you guys haven't faced any adversity. You're soft because you fold the moment things get tough. Like, the fact that an old fart like him is able to resonate with these young guys is pretty freaking cool.
I would want Rick Pitino to coach my kid. Like, that's that's the kind of tough love that like kids need, like coaching wise. Because, I mean, when I grew up, I had a coach who literally made me better by tough love. If you messed up, he didn't care about physical errors. He cared about mental errors. And if you're sharp mentally, you're not gonna make as many physical errors.
He's like verbatim. He's like, I don't care if you miss shots. Get back on defense.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're gonna miss shots, but if you got to keep it going, you got to stay strong up here.
His programs always do well.
Yeah, dude.
Second year.
That Louisville team, the Louisville team.
You see who he said his favorite, the best shooter he ever coached was? Who'd he say?
Luke Hancock.
Dude,
that team was so fun to watch. Louisville basketball, I think college basketball.
Who was the center?
I know.
Don't tell him.
I don't know.
This guy swears he knows everything. He don't know more than
Gorgie
me.
Zhang.
Yeah.
That's a pull. Good job.
What about point guard?
Peyton Siva. Russ Smith was on a different team.
Peyton Siva is a pull.
Peyton Siva. There was a kid named Kyle Keurig. Do you remember him? Kyle Keurig, good shooter. They were just a deep team.
This kid's so
And
goofy.
the fact that people try to put an asterisk next to that amazing run because they had some strippers in the cut has nothing to do with basketball.
Bro.
And there were other teams that got deep in the tournament. I'm sure they were doing the same.
If you're a coach and you're trying to get kids here, are you bringing in some tush?
I would try to find things that if they got out would be less pervasive, like maybe not sex scandal. I'm trying to think of like mini golf or a car or something. I'm trying to think of something that's
no. You'd be like, yo, Larry, you know any girls that could come hang out with these guys? I'd be like, dude, no, I'm washed.
Who was the guy? The video of the Clemson QB Taj Boyd, where he was like on FaceTime with ESPN, and then he's like, I'm studying right now. He's like, They're like, who you with? And then these 2 chicks come into frame in the back, and then like they have some fun with it.
Slick Rick's nice, bro. Betting against Slick Rick, Tom Izzo in March is just not fun. I keep betting against Tom Izzo and I
Michigan
keep losing.
State's an interesting one.
Michigan State's good. I bet on Michigan to win it all, and they've become the worst team since. But once you get in the tournament, it's all different.
The Big Ten in general is amazing.
Yeah,
Way
amazing. I'm interested to see how the SEC does because I don't think they.
The whole thing is that maybe they're overrated.
Well, didn't last year they all get bounced early, except like Alabama?
I think that's right.
The thing about those tough conferences is they beat the hell out of each other, and that conference tournament is essentially like a mini NCAA
Dude, conference tournaments
tournament.
are the best. Like the big tourneys, it's just you're gonna get upset. It's really hard to get predictions right, but conference tourneys are kind of predictable.
You could argue the path to win the SEC tournament is tougher than the path for a team through the NCAA tournament with the quality of team that you play each week.
Nah,
It's gonna be
you're crazy.
What are you talking about?
You're crazy.
If you're a high seed and you're playing some fucking
You're crazy,
mid-major
bro.
for the first couple games,
You're telling me it's harder to win the SEC tournament than it's harder to win the actual tournament.
I'm saying
Well, I think-
on a game per game basis, your schedule, strength of your schedule through the
So
tournament
what
would
if
be
all
tough.
the what if all the SEC teams except one get bounced by the Sweet 16, like they did last year, just about.
Your arguments, but why not the Big Ten? I feel like the Big Ten.
Big Ten's way better and way tougher.
And as a
Is
Big
it?
Ten guy yourself, you
There's
should
no
agree.
defense in the SEC, which is fun, obviously, but like that's why it's like the stock market. It's all
Volatile.
fluffed up.
What about Oh, sorry, that's loud.
Shout out Love That too. Love That's a
Shout out,
great
thank
brand. Thick sweatshirt keeps me
Comfy.
warm.
Shout out, love that. Shout out Pluto,
Shout out Pluto right behind you. Got
Q,
that.
C. Miss you guys. Appreciate it.
Bro, what the
Glass
fuck
are
was
tough.
that?
The glass are Pluto. They're tough.
No, you pointed to like your lips,
What?
bro. You're
Yo,
like,
what?
you're different,
Man,
bro.
dick eat. This man on that dick eat shit. He ate that dick like Siegel ate that bacon, egg, and cheese from Johnny Hot,
Shout out Johnny
I-95, Columbus Boulevard.
All right, bro, chill out. You're doxing yourself. People are gonna pull up on you.
Your come down's gonna happen.
You got
soon.
you got to relax, bro. This kid's such a rookie. Big news this week with Stephen A. and Bron, man. That was crazy. I don't think anything Stephen A's ever said was wrong. I don't
Ever?
necessarily think that like Bron was like wrong for talking about it with him, but he's kind of corny for calling out Stephen A. in my opinion, like the way he did.
Was it planned, or was it one of those moments where you saw someone in public and kind of just your instincts took over?
I mean, dude, you're in an OT game in a big game, like your first real test just about besides the Nuggets, and like after the win, you just decide to go. That means he was thinking about it all game. Like after the game, I'm going to go up to Stephen A. Smith and like
That was my
say
question.
something. Like it's kind of weird, but listen, like you can't really talk shit on Bron because you're going to have someone who agrees with you about it and someone who just like is a Bron sexual and is just going to go crazy. Like Bronny's the best. Like Bronny's so good.
Well, I just think Bronny should be like treated like every other player for
Never
better
going to
or for
happen.
worse.
Never happening.
But it's all right. LeBron, I don't want to say he's coddling him, but I do think at a certain point that if you don't want the media to bother him or to say anything, let him go in the G League for a while. Like, he shouldn't be suiting up for the Lakers.
Yeah, dude, he's doing well in the G League. I mean, listen, the talent's not great. I mean, is Euro ball better than G League, you think?
I don't know.
Maybe some leagues, but obviously the best players from college that don't go overseas and don't make it in the league, they're in the G League. Bronny's doing great in the G League. When I watched Bronny versus Sixers, I was like, yo,
Dude.
I don't know how they're letting this kid play in the NBA. I mean, it was embarrassing. And even when he gets in the games, it's just like, yo, he's athletic. Like the way he moves is nice. He's just not ready to be an NBA player yet, which is fine. And I don't think Stephen A. is wrong for criticizing everything that's transpired with Bronny, but it's just a weird spot. Like I get why LeBron as a dad's like, I'm going to protect my kid, but you put him in this situation to get people to talk shit on him. I don't know.
Creating your own shot in college is so different than the NBA. Like, I think that...
He sucked in college. Like he actually sucked in college.
Did he? What do you average, like 6 a game?
Yeah.
I think less. I think it was
Bro,
like
he
4.
sucked in college. He's
So
doing way better in the G League than he did in college.
And all Stephen A. said essentially is like, you take someone with the same exact numbers, name them something different, and they're not in the league. That's all he said.
100%.
So-
And he's right. Like he's right.
I think LeBron pays attention. As much as LeBron tries to say he doesn't, I know he pays attention to this stuff, which is for someone of his stature.
LeBron's going to see this and see what you said.
For
Be
someone
careful.
of LeBron, for someone of your stature, Stephen A. is too little for you. Like, Stephen A. is a big name in media, but you are LeBron James. You don't even need to entertain that shit. Don't even let it cross your mind. And walking up to him at the game, you think is a cool way to like show a spectacle of that you give a fuck about your son. But honestly, the coolest thing you could have done is ignore him. I think.
Interesting. That's a good take. I mean, I don't hate it. I mean, Brown just got to know, like, listen, this has all happened because LeBron wanted his son to play with him. That's fine.
He signed up for it.
That's fine. But yeah, you signed up for this. You know that there's going to be people who criticize you, and you might have loved Stephen A. You might hate him now. But that's his job.
That's his job.
That's his job to talk about it.
And it's like knee-jerk reaction is like, you're like, is Stephen A. going to get in trouble for this? But
No, that's not my
ESPN's
knee-jerk.
salivating
That's
at
not
this.
my
This is
knee-jerk
great-
reaction.
This is great marketing.
Whose knee-jerk reaction is that?
My first reaction was like, is this
your
going to
knee-jerk
affect his
reaction's
time
horrible.
at
That's why.
ESPN?
You got horrible knee-jerks.
I mean, ESPN's eating this up. Why would they not like?
No, you're
Yeah,
right. Good
bro.
ratings
And
for it.
the day after or the day of, like, they signed him to a $100 million extension. Dude, shout out Stephen A. Remember the Stephen A. Smith show at like 11 p.m. on ESPN when we were kids?
I don't really remember that.
Remember,
Yeah,
he was
that's
a
crazy.
writer for the Inquirer.
I knew that.
Writer for the Inquirer, Stephen A. Smith show. They got canceled on ESPN. I think he might have got fired. Now
Speaking of ESPN canceling shows, Around the Horn. Talk about childhood right there.
I know. Woody Page, Tony
Reali.
J.A. Adonde.
Dude, what's the chick's name? She covers Boston.
Oh, Jackie McMullen.
Jackie
Jackie
McMullen.
was great.
McMullen.
We said Woody Page.
Woody Page, you said.
It was Jay Mariotti. Unfortunately, he beat his wife, so he got kicked off like 10
I was
years
going to
ago.
say, whatever happened to Jay Mariotti? Remember Jim Rome is burning? Or
Yeah.
is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Tim Calishaw.
Tim Calishaw.
Tim
What
Calishaw.
city?
Oh, it's Cleveland?
Dallas.
Oh, wow.
Dallas
no,
Morning
no.
News.
That was a great show.
It's like, it was so cool when columnists actually wrote about sports.
Do you remember
Like,
do you remember what the show was called before First Take? Let's see if anyone
Cold
knows
Pizza.
it. Cold Pizza. And who hosted Cold Pizza? I'm blanking on his fucking name, which pissed me off.
I don't remember this. It's not like Kellerman. It's way
No.
before that.
It was Jay,
Jay Glazer?
not Jay Glazer. I forgot his name. Fuck. It was Rachel Jacobson, not Jay Glazer, Jay something, Woody Page.
This is maybe I'm a little younger than you guys, but Sports Nation. There was a few years where that was
Yeah.
always on after school.
Dude,
Michelle
after
Beadle. Michelle Beadle. Do you remember
Michelle
when Tony
Beadle.
Reali on PTI, before Around the Horn, or before he was the host of Around the Horn, he was Stat Boy on PTI, where they would just, at the end of each show, they would call him in
Oh,
for like
yeah.
errors and omissions.
Yeah, PTI still running.
PTI still rolling.
Tony Kornheiser and Wilbon, I mean, they're fucking legends.
ESPN's programming was
What does he
unmatched.
say? What does
back-
he say? See you later, knuckleheads, at the end of every show?
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Wilbon.
Canada.
Oh
Yeah,
my
he's like,
God.
Good night, Canada. And he
God.
waves a Canadian flag.
That's so funny.
ESPN, the demise of ESPN occurred when Stuart Scott started to get ill. Their programming went downhill. You know, say what you will about.
SVP Late Night's good, but I don't really watch it. But when I do watch it, I can actually listen to him because he just talks like us.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's good at interviewing people.
It's almost like the modern media is like, you know, podcasts and all that stuff. They speak like us.
Right.
They're not like, hi, Larry Locke, and this is ESPN. They're just like, yo, what's up?
They're not like writing jokes
Yeah.
for like highlights.
Sage Steele, shout out my girl. She follows me on the gram.
You should DM her. I think she's single.
Nah, I saw she has a boyfriend.
A boyfriend can't be that long.
Gotta get a date in Bloomington set. Go
Yeah,
out to
Sage
campus.
Steele, if you're listening, this guy's an IU Hoosier.
I'm
Loves
interested to see with everything she's done publicly with her political stance. Do you think that affects the university's desire or willingness to bring her back on campus? You know what I mean? It sounds stupid and like it shouldn't play a part, but universities
Well, it
are
is
inherently
stupid.
liberal. So, like, will that play a role?
It's probably
Would you
case
marry
by
her?
case.
Dude, her teeth are like so white that it blinds you. It's like why I'm wearing these shades right now. It's like that light up there. Like,
You don't like that? You don't like white teeth?
no, fuck yeah.
You want to get your teeth
Those
whitened?
those like what are veneers? Like what is veneers?
They're fake teeth. Like,
But they don't look good.
You know, I agree. It's case to case. but
It depends. Yo, like, it depends. Like, Matt Stafford's look horrible. Because you could tell.
You could tell. What about you see Walton Goggins? You seen the White Lotus? You'd recognize his face. He's
Yeah, I
just
know who he
look-
is. Yeah.
The
You know who's look?
They look too straight.
Ben Simmons, horrible. If you could tell by the way, when their mouth is closed, that their mouth is like a little
too
wider.
big, yeah.
Too much.
It's like horse, like your tooth is fucking inches tall. That's crazy.
I mean, bro, you would still kiss her.
oh, I thought you were about to say Ben Simmons. Nah, I wouldn't give him any play. Ben Simmons, dude. Ben Simmons.
Yo, Ben Simmons-
Honestly, I don't hate him as much as everyone else in Philly does.
Either do I.
I think he did want it to work here. He was immature. It's a relationship that didn't work out. Let's not make it any bigger.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, how about them listing the top 10 Philly athletes and Paul George being on it over Zach Wheeler?
Crazy. It's actually crazy.
Like, what are they doing? Like, who is doing this?
I
They're
think-
so dumb. Putting Paul George on a top 10 Philly athlete, like, dude, I think everyone in Philly would agree that he's not even probably top 20.
Who was one, Jalen?
Yeah, I mean, it's Jalen or Saquon. I mean, I would say probably Saquon, but Saquon, Jalen, like all the Eagles they're immortal here, bro.
Yeah.
And then you got like Bryce.
Even like Lane Johnson not being
Yeah.
on that list.
Lane Johnson should be like, Embiid should be on it. I don't care what anyone says. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Here's one. Deep down, do you guys think that the Eagles' success in the last couple years coming off the Super Bowl, do you guys think that success causes Bryce Harper to feel a certain way about pressure does he feel more pressure to be successful?
Yeah.
no. The pressure's on regardless.
Right.
It's not because the Eagles won. Bro, it's a whole different sport, bro. The pressure's on regardless. He's 6.5, 7 years into his contract.
I don't know. I think if you have one franchise in a city that cares so much about their teams winning and you have another one falling short of expectation when the Phillies were actually the ones that were supposed to get over the hump first.
Should have done it.
That's why I'm saying it. I'm not saying it looks bad or he gives a fuck.
The pressure's already on. I mean,
the
listen,
Hawks
like,
series, he's like, I didn't take the dunk. And B's quick to blame anybody, and nobody really gives him shit.
Listen, I don't hate Ben Simmons. It sucks it didn't work out, but like the fact that Simmons and Fultz failed sucks.
Sucks. That's what killed us.
Yeah,
and
like not Embiid.
Morey still got a good return for Simmons. Getting Harden back sick. Yeah. It's just then you gave up on Harden.
Don't start this, by the way. I don't want to talk about this.
It's tough.
What, the Sixers?
No, he's going to want to argue that we should have paid Harden. I don't think we should have, and we're going to go on from there.
I like
when you talk about the process, people just laugh at it now. But if you look at the assets they received, the process worked freaking perfectly.
Sure.
They got first overall pick after first overall pick after first overall pick.
The league pushed out their GM who made it all happen. We're at 24 minutes.
All right.
Do you have anything else to add?
Sporting world, nobody's off limits.
Nobody's off limits. He's right.
Nobody's off limits in the
life is
sporting
public.
world.
Let's talk about today's. Let's talk about today.
No, because it's not going to get out.
Unless you do like a 3 o'clock
No,
thing.
we're not getting it out.
Let's talk futures.
Okay, we talk futures. I like Duke to win it all. I don't care. It's plus 300. I don't care.
No, it's minus according to
This guy's an idiot. Minus. A team to win all is minus. Duke. Now, listen, I think North Carolina probably covers 12.5 today versus Duke. I messed this mic up when we were just doing this, but
Here's what I meant to say. Duke or Auburn was minus money. There was
you go.
a bet
Clarify
where
your dumbass
either of
statements.
them was minus money.
this guy's he's like one of my best friends, so we just kind of rag on each other. He gives no Diddy, he gives it back.
No did ew. He gives it back. Shit. Duke UNC today. Who do we like?
I like UNC up to 11.5. It's 9.5 now.
9.5.
I like UNC.
Shout out Taco Heart.
Taco Heart was fire.
Taco Heart was nice.
Go there after this. Eat more.
Yeah, I mean, we got this is like a lull in sports in between baseball and March Madness and the Super Bowl. So these next couple weeks, college basketball.
Conference tournaments start today.
No, they just like don't know anything, bro. They started 2 days ago or 3 days ago.
Did they? Which
Yeah,
one?
you don't start a conference tourney on Saturday. You start on Thursday.
You're saying it's going to end tomorrow.
Yeah,
The championship's going to be tomorrow
for certain
the smaller
conferences.
league. Radford and High Point.
High Point.
You got High Point.
I told you yesterday, High Point. What'd they do? They waxed them. No one by
Shout out
21.
Reese. Shout out Edon. Shout out our High Point boys. Furniture capital of the world, by the way. World's largest dresser is located in High Point. You say I don't know anything. I know the world's largest dressers in High Point.
That's all you know. Weird, obscure shit.
We're going to have to cut out all the clowning of me. Just cut it.
No, that makes us. That's a good repertoire. You can clown me back.
Kentucky and Missouri. Interesting.
I like Missouri. I
Missouri.
like the over. What's the over?
170 and a half.
170 went down.
How about Georgia's pretty good.
No, Georgia stinks.
I mean, for Georgia basketball, they're having a good season. The games of the day. Kentucky, Mizzou.
Not the game of the day.
St. John's, Marquette.
Better game.
Elon and Drexel. Chattanooga and Mercer.
Chattanooga might wax them.
You think? They're 10.
Chattanooga's good, but good enough.
Who went to Chattanooga? Who's a Hall of Fame player that went to Chattanooga?
What sport?
Football.
Terrell Owens.
T.O. T.O.'s one real season on the Eagles was arguably the best single season in Philly sports history.
We got T.O. in his prime we were a team starving for a receiver. And all we knew that missing piece was going to be, dude, we were using James Thrash and Todd Pinkston. We knew T.O. coming here was going to be insane.
Yeah. No, it's McNabb with what he did with such a lackluster receiving core during most of his Eagles tenure is impressive. And the relationship between Philly fans and McNabb it's just weird. Like McNabb goes out of his way to say things about the Eagles and the fan base that it makes me scratch my head because he should be honored as one of the greats of the franchise. And the T.O. year was the most fun year.
You saw that Instagram DM I sent yesterday with McNabb just like he
that?
shared a story of this girl's fucking wagon.
What why?
A lot of the former Eagles guys do stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's up with Jared?
You know who hates Donovan McNabb?
Who?
Freddie Mitchell.
Yeah.
Really?
Hates him.
Yeah.
Always talking shit on him.
Dill, what about the MD Foodie Boys eating McGurk's cheesesteak?
They had McGurk's?
Yeah, in Maryland. They're like, we had a real Philly cheesesteak.
And they got McGurk's?
Well, it's in Maryland.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have a chain there, I guess, whatever you want to call it. What do you think, Dill?
You told me about this minutes ago, and I didn't even know that McGurk's was located in Maryland. But I went to the new McGurk's in Horsham a couple months ago for work, and it's like a...
Dude, it's not that
It's
new.
like
It's
a
like 7
PJ
years. It's
Wheelahan.
like 7 years old.
Is it?
Yeah.
Their newer locations, though, look like a fucking... Like, PJ Wheelahan's like a sports bar. The old ones look like just dingy and different.
Okay.
That's
all you got.
That's
Like, okay. Fucking guy.
What
looking
about
at
Chubb Perm said it was good.
Chubb Perm. What's his name? Chubb Perm. Nonchalant guy who can't even pronounce nonchalant. And
This guy, he doesn't have a TikTok. I don't even know how you
And
know
then
this.
it's on. They're on. Oh, they on TikTok.
You need
too.
TikTok, bro. TikTok is the funniest app. TikTok. If you had TikTok, I would send you 1,000 TikToks a day that would make you laugh.
So after talking about this nonstop, TikTok didn't even get banned. What's up with that?
Shouldn't be banned.
You don't think?
Nah, bro. TikTok's great. I mean, listen. Like the day it went down, I was kind of like, nice. I don't have to go on TikTok. Like, I gotta figure something else out. But like, dude, I love TikTok. And it's not for like. See, like you look at TikTok as like kids are just dancing on it. Like you're still in that 2020 mentality because you're like not culturally advanced yet. Bro, I watch my TikToks, my news, my sports outlet, my comedy.
If TikTok watching is the benchmark of cultural advancement, then consider me in the Stone Ages, and I'm fine with that. Okay, like
Dude,
I don't.
But you don't know shit about
I'm
shit
not a
because
culture vulture.
you don't know shit about shit. Like you're like 3 days late to news. Always.
That's the thing. TikTok's not a news source. Like
Yes, it
you're
is.
using TikTok as your primary news
Bro,
source. That's why.
What's your news source?
I don't
The
even know.
TV?
The news is fake. The news is fucking fake,
All right,
guys.
Joe, we're
out
not
there.
getting political,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
crazy.
no,
because-
not political. News should be a variety of topics that touch different things that are covered. News now is one topic for months, weeks or months that is just fixated upon. That's a predetermined agenda. That is not news.
All right. Big Saturday. Love you guys. This guy's goofy. Great episode. Quick, short one. Just like this guy likes it. Have a good one. Let's have a day.
Salute.